All right, welcome back. This is our podcast, episode 5 of The Plank, and today we have me, Perry Lewis, Sean King, Anthony Porras, and David Nightcamp. Christian Nightcamp. That's your middle name, isn't it?
What?
Isn't that your okay?
No.
Sorry. And then today, our guest is the legendary Mr. Payne. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How's your day going?
So far, so good. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm grateful,
Lovely weather, too.
Hey, it's not snowing. I'm
True.
grateful.
I'm not a fan of snow.
I hate snow.
I'm not a fan of snow.
I
grew up in the tropics, okay?
Oh,
so
yeah.
for me, it's like 75 to 85 year-round where I grew up. So snow
Yeah.
and I,
Yeah.
not best
The
of
only,
friends.
the only time I feel with snow is like, Christmas break and stuff. After that, I'm like sick of it.
So you grew up in Africa, right?
Correct.
So was there? I'm guessing there was no snow over there ever. So
Ever.
what was your first
Never.
interaction with snow, and what did you think?
Well, I don't know that I actually have that as a solid memory. I was 6 at the time. My family moved to the States, and I really don't remember. I've heard stories, but those are not my own memories.
What were the stories?
Well, literally, that I just want to like roll around and play in the snow. And then like after about 10 minutes, I came in freezing, and I went to take a hot bath. So
Yeah.
That's just normal stuff.
that's normal stuff.
Wait,
right?
did you move to Michigan?
No,
When you first
when I
did?
first moved to the States, I moved to Illinois.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah.
Wait,
So I
you-
lived in Illinois, Lincoln, Illinois, for about 3 years, and then my family moved back to Africa, and then I lived there again until 2000.
Oh. Did you go to college there, or did you go to college here?
I started college there, and then I came here my sophomore year.
Oh, that's cool.
What's one of the biggest differences between Africa and America?
So first, I'm going to make a little clarification. Africa is a vast continent, right?
Yeah.
Like it's huge.
Yeah.
So I'm from Liberia, which is on the west coast, just north of the equator. Okay, and I guess one of the biggest differences outside of climate, well, it's climate based. It's just food,
Yeah.
right? So food here is very bland, right? There's like
Yeah.
black pepper and salt. That's your seasoning.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's the spices? Like, we want some flavor in the food, And then you guys are like, oh, we got hot sauce. But even hot sauce got no flavor. It's just hot.
Yeah, I can't do hot sauce.
Yeah.
There's like something in it I'm allergic to.
You're allergic to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't find out till like 7th grade. I had this like buffalo chicken pizza.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, dude, I love spicy food. So I downed the whole thing.
Oh, boy.
Next thing I know, I'm like on the floor, like vomiting and like
Oh.
passing out. And I went to the hospital. Yeah.
That's pretty intense, man.
I know. And now whenever I smell it, I'm like,
So do you know what
Can't.
it is about the hot sauce that you're allergic to? Like, what's in it?
I don't know what it is.
You're like, I'm just
It
not going
has
to touch
to-
it,
it-
right? Just,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
just
just like,
stay
I'm not
away.
going to risk it.
that's right. It's not worth it.
Like, even when I eat like spicy chips, I'm like,
Yeah.
I get a little nauseous.
Okay.
It's weird.
Okay.
Which is like before that, I wasn't allergic to spicy food. I was able to eat it. I don't know what
You have an
happened.
extreme reaction. Like, your body's just like, no, we're not taking chances.
Yeah. I have no idea. Same thing happened when I was like 4 or 5. I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know about it, and I got sick. It's like the same thing. I was like on the ground, and I was only like 4, so I didn't know what to do.
Right.
So I was like, "Yeah, I'll take you to the hospital. You probably just like stomach flu or something." And next thing I know, I have type 1 diabetes. I'm coming home not knowing what it is. So I'm like, dude, this sucks. Knowing I have to do that every day. So I was like,
That's pretty intense at age 4, man.
I know. And then kindergarten, I was going into school with it. First year, and I was starting school, and I got hit by a car at the end of kindergarten. So, yeah.
That's a rough year, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, who did I tell that to? Was that Egan?
That was
Yeah, what-
Oh, it was Mr. Egan.
It was
You got hit by a car?
It was Egan.
Yeah.
Going to school
and it
or
was
just playing around?
Bro, it was during field day. I know. I was coming home and so we're walking across the street and go back to the elementary to get our
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then I have my book bag and stuff and then I leave and I see my mom. And I was a mama's boy then. I was like, Mom, and some old lady hit me. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground like this. My elbows are cut open. I was like,
Wow.
I know. And it sucked because I like hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in the Stanley Cup was my favorite team.
Mhm.
And I couldn't watch it because I was in the hospital.
Did they have a TV in the hospital? Where'd you go to the hospital?
No, I don't remember. I was like
Man.
4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
I didn't watch it.
I'm saying right now, like every hospital has like
Yeah.
a huge TV. That's the first thing. You sit there and like, what do you want on the TV? It's
Oh, that, but I was like sleeping. I was like knocked out.
okay.
So I was like, I couldn't watch it. And I wake
Yeah.
up and it's like
It's done.
it's at midnight. My dad's like, they won. I was like, ah. I was like, that's nice. I remember.
So you got some angels watching over you, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. A lot of there's been a lot of stories. My dad too. He's been in like 5 accidents just in Michigan. So he grew up in Grable, Wyoming. So they're like used to doing crazy stuff off road because there's no one out there.
Well, there's hardly any
Like
people.
you take it, anything that has wheels and a motor in it, you just go crazy with it. That's how they grew up. Like say they go up in the mountains and go like, okay, there's one story. He was like in like a paintball, like he had a huge paintball team.
Yeah.
They go up in the mountains and they take snowmobiles. They go crazy. But there was one time he went too fast, went flying off, and there happened to be a tree there, and he fell in the tree.
Ow.
So if there wasn't a tree, he would have been.
What Perry is saying is be very careful when you hang out with me. Because
Yes.
things tend to happen
Yeah.
to me and my family.
Yeah. We had this like some curse or something. I don't know. There was also one time, you know the semi trucks that have like the bars underneath it.
Mhm.
They put those under there because a lot of cars would go underneath it. And, like they slam on their brakes and they go.
Right.
That's what happened to him, and he almost died.
He went under a semi?
Yeah.
Again, stay away from Perry and his family.
Yeah.
Like, this is just.
Yeah.
Not doing that.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And then he also had like a ton of heart problems, like I don't know if he had a heart attack. He had heart failure though, so I was like, jeez. And then I also got COVID last year, and I gave it to him, and he had to go to the hospital.
We don't share those kinds of things. Those things you keep to yourself. You don't share COVID.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it to myself, man.
It's like, Dad, I love you. Here's some COVID.
Okay, I was at school and I was like, sniffling, not really feeling that great. Miss McDivitt comes up to me, dude. She's like, are you sniffling? I'm like, yeah. And then you know what happened from there.
Yeah.
I got sent home and then I had COVID.
Yeah.
I thought I was fine.
What's your nearest death experience?
What a question.
So, in part, I came to the States because there was a civil war going on.
Oh.
Okay? So, we had been locked up in our house for like 3 days. There's like artillery fire everywhere, right? Like, it's crazy. It's like Rambo stuff.
You could
Okay?
hear it?
Pardon?
You could hear it? Like you could hear their
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could hear it. I mean, literally, like, it was like an orchestra, right? You'd have little gunfire. Blah, 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 blah. Then all of a sudden you hear boom. The house would shake. Stuff would fall from the ceiling. And it was just dead quiet. And then you hear pow, pow, pow. And then it start up again. For like 3 days straight, right? And so we're like, maybe we should leave and get out of here. So like it was quiet for a while. So we get out of our house. We're walking. And then somebody is like in the swamp behind our house, right? And starts shooting at us.
At you?
At us. Like there's my whole family. We're all trying to leave, right?
Oh, jeez.
Bullet goes through my backpack. There's an old guy walking with us. A bullet goes through his leg.
Ooh.
And then we all hit the deck. Everybody's on the ground. And we just lay there for a while. And then he stops. And then we stand up and he doesn't shoot. It's like he realizes we're like civilians. So he stops shooting at us. And then we just keep going.
Oh,
So that's my nearest death experience.
I was expecting like a car crash or something.
Oh, man. Jeez.
Do you guys follow like college football?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like old school college football?
A little bit.
Do you guys know who J.U. Claw Creek is?
Well, okay, how old are you talking? Like 80s?
No. J.U. Claw Creek was probably 2000s.
Oh.
He played for Michigan State. He was like a fullback, big dude. He's originally from Liberia.
Oh, really?
The old man that got shot in the leg was his grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Did you meet the player then?
I used to babysit him.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool, actually.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I remember the only guy from Michigan. Okay, no, that's not true. I remember when Todd Anderson came here, it was like a big deal in elementary. They're like, "Oh, Todd Anderson!"
Yeah.
And I remember he went to the Rams, dude. That was crazy. And then he got cut or something.
Yeah. So J.U. played. I want to say he played in L.A. for a little bit. Then he ended up with the Bills, and he played a couple of years, and then
That's Coach
He's
Anderson's
done.
son, isn't it?
yeah,
Oh yeah, it is.
Did you keep in contact with them at all? Like
yeah. We're Facebook friends. I talk to his grandma more than anything. Like his grandma's like my godmother, so like we talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's he doing now?
Coaching,
Where at?
upstate New York somewhere.
Oh.
like a high school team?
Yeah.
Oh. Are they good?
I don't know. I don't follow them.
Oh.
High school team.
We could beat them. Mr. Payne.
So there's a saying. There's a saying, right? That it's better to let your actions do the talking,
True.
right?
Yeah.
Because when you start talking, man, like people get amped up. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, that Perry dude, I'm gonna take him out.
No, never happened.
Yeah. And with your track record, like I don't know, man. I'm not gonna go talking too much. You know what I'm saying?
Ouch.
You might have a semi on the way to the game.
Somebody just put some spice in his water. You know, he's like, I can't.
That was throw up on the kid in front of me. Nothing.
Yeah.
No one can guard me.
Oh my can guard you.
No guard.
So what's this whole podcast for though? Like what's the goal? What are we doing?
It's
for-
leadership.
we're student leadership.
These
And
are
like
that,
what
or, like,
yeah, and
pick
Cheryl
up-
at the very first day, Cheryl was like, yeah, what are some of the things you guys want to do?
Mm-hmm.
We were just like yelling out suggestions, and someone was like,
They made the
podcast.
podcast, and then they took forever to get it started. So me and Perry joined it, and then we
Yeah.
got our own room in a day. This is our.
But the
room.
question is, what is the purpose of the podcast? Like, what are we trying to accomplish here today? Like, what's our goal?
We kind of have different goals for each teacher. Like
Okay.
Mr. Adams, it was talk about his, like, why he became a principal. Mr. Egan, it was just to make fun of him because me and Perry are Mr. Egan's favorite.
Yeah.
And we have Mr. Lee
Thursday.
and we wanted to just talk to him about, like, because he's a new teacher, so get the students to
Like,
know
get
him
to-
So what about this Mr. Payne guy? Like, what do you want to talk to him about?
Kind of about your time in Africa, is what we were thinking
Okay.
of. Which
Yeah.
we got some stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else
Yeah.
that you want to talk about? Is there anything you want the 70 people listening to this to know?
Hey, 70 people is more than one person, right?
That's true.
And if you can impact one person and that person can impact another person, it's all that matters, right?
True.
So it doesn't matter how many people are listening. As long as somebody's listening, we're good.
True.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things, I guess, one of the biggest differences between growing up in Africa and coming to the States is just the way people relate to each other. Like here, I feel like everybody is very like personal. Everything's personal, right? It's all about like, this is my space and this is my family. And,
Oh yeah.
and I grew up where the entire community was the community. Like if you're walking from school and you got in trouble,
Like everyone knew.
and everybody's gonna chew you out before you even get home.
Yeah.
Right? And so like everybody kept an eye out for everybody. That's just kind of the way it was. Yeah. It's a little bit different here where it's like nobody wants to talk to anybody else's kid because
Yeah.
why are you talking to my kid? I can take care of my own kid, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always feel so uncomfortable talking to, like, other people's kids at work. I just kind of like wave and that's it.
Yeah, sure.
But part of leadership though is being comfortable with being uncomfortable
That's true.
as long as you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. It's true. I remember I used to be like that. We actually talked about Mr. Egan's podcast episode. Like before his class, I was like the quiet, your typical quiet kid.
Reserved.
Yeah, I didn't want to get in anyone's business, which I guess there's nothing wrong with that. But like, I didn't talk to anyone. Like if I saw someone down, I was like too scared to say anything to them, or like, or just anyone in general. Like I didn't have the guts to like go up to them, and go, hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
I had that class, and like Mr. Egan, he's just like setting himself up to make fun of him. So like, like got me out of my comfort zone to talk more.
Mm-hmm.
Literally ever since then, I've been
And now you
like,
can't stop.
yeah.
Right.
I see someone down now, I'm like, hey, like I try to make them like, feel better or laugh or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like that's like one of the things I'm really good at doing is like cheering people up,
Mhm.
like trying to make their day better,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Like if I said that to my 6th grade self, I would have been like, no way.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're that guy that goes around
And so here's my challenge to you, though, right? So you've realized, okay, I have this, I'm going to call it a gift, right? We all have certain skills and talents,
Yeah.
right? So how do you use that to help the 6th graders? So that the 6th grade kid that's sitting in the seat that was you
Yeah.
can be like, oh, I don't have to be. I mean, like, if I
Yeah.
want to be, I can be like Perry. I have that choice, right?
Yeah.
That, again, there's that leadership, right? I
Yeah.
have something that I can offer other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like show them charisma.
All right.
Like-
So this guy, you guys are too quiet, man. What's going on this side of the table? What's up?
I mean, he's
The 6th grade.
I don't know. He's just carrying us. It's
But I want to hear from you. Tell me about yourself. What's your name? Where'd you grow up? Like when you hear about Africa, what's the first thing you think?
I think like I don't actually know. There's a lot
Spices.
of things in Africa.
But I'm just gonna. I say Africa, and in your mind you see
Soccer team.
soccer team. That's good. No, that's great. Because that's the thing. Like we play soccer with anything. You give me an orange, a grapefruit, a tennis ball. Like literally, if it can roll, it's a soccer ball. Like that's
True.
it's everywhere. Yeah.
It's
Like
true.
here, everybody has like these travel leagues, right? Like you get together and you spend all this money and you get these jerseys and you
Yeah.
go from. No, literally, it would be like, okay, my neighborhood against your neighborhood, 4:00 Saturday. That's it. That's our league. That's what
That
we
shit
did.
is
There were
fun,
no
though.
parents involved. That was just us.
That's just cool though.
That,
It's all for bragging rights.
True.
Yeah.
My neighbor's better than yours.
Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all need to do some practice. You know what I'm saying?
you guys-
Allen Iverson practice. Practice. I'm talking about practice. Go practice.
Pele.
All good.
Were you good soccer? Did you
I
did
was
you play?
Decent. Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah. Because good is relative, right? Good compared
Yeah.
to who?
True.
So,
True. Yeah. But did you play like any sports throughout like college or high school or?
In high school, I did not play any sports. So I went to a boarding school.
Yeah.
And because you were in boarding school, you woke up in the morning, you had chores to do. So you did your chores, then you went to class, then after class, like everything was very scheduled.
Yeah.
And so if you played sports, literally like you'd wake up in the morning, do chores, go to practice, come back, get ready for school. After school, go to practice, come back, do chores, and then go to like study hall. I'm like, that's too much. I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
No.
True.
So I didn't play any sports in high school. All my brothers did though.
They did.
My older brother played basketball. My two younger brothers played basketball and ran track, and then one played football, and then one played soccer. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Really fast.
We're all fast.
Oh man.
Like I'm faster than you right now, and I'm an old man. I'm not kidding. Really? Really?
We gotta set up a race now. We gotta see it.
Nah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, I messed up my ankle. Like, did you hear about that?
No.
How long ago was that? 3 weeks?
It was our second game.
Second game.
Was it EJ?
Yeah. Dude, some kid missed a tackle so bad. It wasn't even close. He just dove at my leg. And I was just blocking the guy in front of me. And all of a sudden I see this kid.
Oh.
My ankle like literally bent sideways. And I like look around. I like was holding my leg. And I looked down and it was like already massive. And I was like, yeah, this sucks. And it hurt
Sprain?
super bad.
Is it a-
It's like it still hurts, yeah.
yeah, sprains
Yeah.
are horrible though, because
I
they take
know.
forever to heal.
I know.
Yeah.
And I was thinking too, because our third game was Manchester, so I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be able to play.
Good.
No, I didn't play. It is my senior homecoming, because I was like, that sucks. Because last year we didn't have anything.
Right.
There was like 2 people in the stands, and they called it a homecoming. So I was just like,
Call it a homecoming. There was nobody home
Yeah.
to come to.
I know. And then we got blown out. So I was like, yeah, this
I
is
came
great.
for like
That
the
was
first quarter. No one was there, and we were already
Horrible
losing.
game.
It sucked.
It was raining too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Unlike this year's homecoming.
Yeah.
This year's
Oh, yeah.
good.
Right.
I know. I experienced everything on the sideline.
Hey. You were
I mean,
part
it
of
was still
though.
normal though.
You were part of it.
I was I was still grateful to be there.
Mhm.
Like, and we still won.
Mhm.
So I was just like, hey man, whatever works.
It's in the record books, man.
Yeah.
That was a great game too.
Yeah.
I think.
I was screaming that entire game.
So this guy still hasn't told me though. I say Africa, and you think
What? What do
Pele.
you think of a desert?
a desert?
Yeah.
It's Sahara Desert. It's no joke, man.
Are there zebras out there?
Oh yeah.
Like how we just see
Yeah.
dogs?
No.
No.
There's zebras, like if you go into like certain areas, right? They don't live everywhere. So primarily that's gonna be like East Africa. And if you go like you'll see zebras, but you don't just. And then you think about it though, like outside of deer, you don't see most wild North American animals just in the neighborhood. Right? Like, you're not just driving around the road and be like, oh, there's a coyote. Like, no, because whenever there's a lot of people, the animals what? Move further away. So it's the same thing in Africa. Like, if there's a lot of inhabitants, the animals go further into the forest.
What's
Yeah.
the difference in like the schools in Africa than here? Is it like
Ooh,
from where you're
man,
from?
there's a lot of differences. There are a lot of differences. I'm trying to figure out where to even start. So, no, like, honestly, I've thought about this a lot because I'm like, I wish we could do an exchange program. You know, you guys have like foreign students come here.
Yeah.
I want you guys to go there, to go to where I went to school.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because,
That'd be
like,
sick, like
you
a week or
would.
so.
No, a week's not enough, man. You can at least give it like
A month.
a month. Yeah.
I mean, usually when
like
kids
more
move here, they stay for the whole year.
Right. I mean, there's different kinds of programs, right? It just depends on
Oh.
how you set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for instance, like you guys trade classrooms.
Yeah.
In my high school, we didn't trade classrooms. The teachers moved. So you were in, yeah, you were in one class,
Oh.
and then the teachers would come in and teach. And so you were with the same students all 3 years of school. So for us, high school is 10th, 11th, and 12th. Middle school is 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Mm-hmm.
6th grade is considered
I
like
used to have
elementary
school
school.
like that.
Right. And then, like, being in a boarding school, the seniors ran the whole school. Like, everything was organized and implemented by the seniors. The only time teachers got involved if something went wrong. Okay? So, like, literally, you'd be walking down the hall, and then, like, corporal punishment is a thing there. So if they're like, Perry, you need to stop talking, and Perry keeps talking, they're like, Perry, kneel down.
What?
And Perry has to kneel down.
What would happen if you didn't?
you get in more trouble.
Oh. What would happen though?
Literally, like they would just increase your punishment, right?
Oh.
Okay, if you're not kneeling down, then you're responsible now for cleaning the bathrooms.
Oh.
And if it keeps escalating, that's when the teacher's going to get involved, and they're like, the parents are going to be like, it's
That's something we should do here. It's like, hey, Chris.
So I'm not saying like I'm endorsing corporal punishment. That's just the way the system works there, right? But like all the school games, like everything literally is organized and ran by the seniors. So like you think about like Harry Potter, like we have prefects, right? Responsible for different things, and then you had your head boy because I went to an all boys school. Yeah.
Mm.
So were there like sports at your school? Like
Oh, yeah.
School sports?
Yeah. Yeah. Soccer, basketball, track.
That's
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, what was your favorite food there? Like, what's okay? So, like, if I went to Africa, what should I eat?
What am I going to say right now? You can say if I went to Africa, because North Africa food's different, West Africa food's different. Even within West Africa, there's like a vast array of differences in food, right? So if you went to Liberia,
Yeah.
right, there we go.
Yeah.
There's something called palm butter. So first of all, you have to know, like in Liberia, rice is the stuff. Like every meal, some kind of rice.
Yeah.
Like you have potatoes here, Liberia, it's rice. So I say palm butter, but it's palm butter that you're gonna put on rice. So it's like a stew made from like the sauce of a palm plant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, what does it taste like?
Nothing you've ever had. So
Oh.
I can't compare it. That's what I'm saying. You remember what's the first thing I said about the food here?
It's not. It's like
Is it really that
It's
bland?
bland.
I can't compare it to anything here.
True.
So even like if we go to a Chinese restaurant, like that's not, it's still bland.
No, Chinese restaurant is not bland, right? But Chinese food is not American food. That's Chinese
Sure.
food.
But I feel like
Right.
a lot of American food is just stolen from other countries.
Because America's made of people from other countries. Even though we try to say, you're Chinese American, and you're African American, but we don't say you're German American or you're Norwegian American, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's because people from everywhere have come to America.
So if we steal other people's foods and like every culture has their own food, how is our food so bland then?
I'm saying what would be stereotypically American,
Yeah.
right? Macaroni and cheese.
Okay, that's fair.
Hamburger.
What about a
Yeah.
steak though? You've never had a good steak?
Yeah, steaks are all right. Like, but I mean, what makes a steak though?
It's got to be fresh.
Hmm?
Like
I don't even like steak.
Fresh.
You don't like steak?
But what makes a steak good?
Teriyaki sauce.
Oh, look at that.
That's
Seasoning.
yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? So it's what you put on it. You have to have some kind of flavor. You can't just be like steak. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
I think you should start a restaurant.
You think I should start?
Yeah.
Well, there's actually
Sounds
like
like
a restaurant in Detroit. It's like an African restaurant. Like, yeah.
Last field trip.
The other thing is like, I grew up on the coasts, right? I grew up on the ocean, and so fish. We eat a lot of fish.
Fish is good.
Yeah, a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Cooked in different ways though, and again, seasoned very well.
did your family ever like take a day trip to the ocean and go swimming?
When I was in high school, we did that, not as a family. Like you and your boys would go for a day, go to spend the day on the beach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really do beaches unless there's like a big occasion, because one of these things like it's always there, so you don't really, it's not special. You know what I mean? You don't think about it like that. Like I took my wife after we got married. I took my wife to Liberia to visit, and she was like, "There's nobody on the beach." I'm like, "Everybody's working. They ain't got time for no beach." Like, I'm talking like the beach was wide, right? You probably had like a quarter mile width of sand, just miles, and nobody.
Jeez.
So like, do you ever like just go like take a trip back to Liberia?
Well, I've gone twice since I've been in the States. So I went about 12 years ago, and then about 2 years ago, I took my entire family and we went back to visit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you miss it ever?
I miss the people a lot, more than anything.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been missing a lot of like the random fruits. So like you asked like my favorite food. My favorite food is fruit. Like I could live on fruit, right?
Yeah.
And we have so many just random wild fruits that we eat back home that we can't find anywhere else. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I actually tried a new fruit last week, or 2 weeks. Yeah, last week. Star fruit.
Oh, star fruit, yeah.
Star fruit is so good.
I tried it. It's like super juicy, but it tasted bland.
Thank you.
Yeah, it did. It tasted bland. I was like,
It's like the same thing. Like everybody's making sparkling, and I'm like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather eat pineapple.
Oh yeah,
Pineapple is
pineapple's my
good, yes.
favorite.
Very good.
Pineapple's
I like
so good.
watermelon.
Yeah,
Like
Mango.
mango's
I don't like
good.
mango.
Mango's awesome.
I love mango.
You say you never had mango?
I don't think I
I
ever.
gotta hook him up. Somebody gotta hook this boy up.
It's better than peach. Peaches are more
Peaches are
sweet,
good,
but
though.
like peaches are good. That's peach for the. It's like a mango tastes like that, except peach is more sweet.
I gotta get mango.
Mango's good.
And that's the other thing. There's so many varieties, right? So like you say mango.
Yeah,
Well, there's like 12 different varieties of mangoes.
yeah.
In the U.S., you probably have like 2 that they sell in the supermarket all the time. But back home, like literally, you can have a mango that's like that big. I'm not kidding. So I told my wife, and she's like, "What's the biggest papaya you've seen?" Do you know what papaya is?
It's like It kind of looks like a mango, but it's like more like oval shaped, right?
It's just, again, there's different varieties of it, right?
Yeah.
The ones they sell here are usually about this big. Okay. They're green to start out, and as they ripe, they turn like yellow or yellow orange color.
Yeah.
So I took my wife, and I was like, "What do you think that is?" She's like, "I don't know." I was like, "That's a papaya." She could hold it like a baby. That's how big it was.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I've never had papaya.
Oh, see, I gotta bring you guys some fruit, man. Like,
You
Oh,
do.
please.
You gotta make us some
Let me
African
see.
food and bring it in.
I can
Or
do that too.
Liberian.
For
Liberian.
yeah, Liberian. Yeah,
Liberian.
yeah.
I'd eat that.
I
I'll try
would.
to try it. It's not bland either, so it has to be.
It's not even close to being bland.
It has to be good.
That's-
It has to be. But
I think that's all the time we have for today.
All right.
We
Alright.
definitely should bring you in for a part 2 sometime.
Maybe sometime we can talk about like mental health, right? Since that's what
Yeah.
we do at the school. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can do that.
Oh, and then we could do part 3 where we just like do like
Taste testing African
There you go.
fruits.
We can do that for
African
sure.
foods.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for coming.
Yep.
Oh yeah, glad you guys asked
Yeah.
me to. Yeah. So there's this thing in West Africa though, and if you look it up online, it's really a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
There's something called jollof rice,
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
and there's a huge argument about which West African country basically, but West Africa so far is like in the lead, so the other countries don't even count, has the best jollof rice. Like literally, Nigerians are like, "Oh, our jollof rice is the best," and Ghanaians are like, "No, it's not." And Liberians are like, "Guys, don't even talk about it." You know, it's like so. But as a Liberian who's lived in Ghana, I would still tell you Liberian has the best jollof rice. So
Yeah.
Guess I'll look it up.
yeah,
Yeah. We have to.
yeah.
But thanks for coming on today. Appreciate it.
Hey, glad you guys could have me.
Yeah, of course.
Next time I want to interview you. Just kidding.
All right. See ya.
All right. Yep. Have a good day,
You
guys.
too.